Okay, my name's Zakashi, guys, and in this video here we're back with another top 5 best teams of the month. Now I do this every single month, and given that the anniversary has started, the first month has already ended. We started in May and we're leading on to June, where there's already going to be a part 2 which is looking very movies orientated. We've had hints of Android 13 and Cooler, probably they're both free to play, so that's cool for the game and whatnot. So before we actually get into that hype, I want to produce this, given that the month of May has already ended, and then at the end of June we'll do this again, and all the way through to the end of the year. I want to point out that none of these teams are in order, whereas I might mention one team is better than the other, but each of these teams could actually be better than any other team depending on the player, and that's how PvP works. So hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this video, man. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button, man. We're on this grind to 50,000 subscribers. We're very close, so press that red button, man. Help me, help you, help you, help me. I'm not going to hold you guys up any longer. Let's actually get into the video now. Okay, so this is going to be the first team for the video, and just for the skippers of the video, just because this team is first doesn't necessarily mean it's better than any other team I mentioned in this video. Watch the whole video next time and then you won't be already typing out your comments talking about some, well, I think this team is better than the team you mentioned first. But we're starting with Future now. The reason I've got hit on leader is because he's actually just making the team much better than it actually would be with any of the extra Future characters in the game, because Future isn't a very, let me say, profitable tag right now. If you don't have Zamasu and you don't have Ultra Rose, you pretty much gotta stop using the team. If you don't have Ultra Rose, you should stop using the team, being honest. But if we look at actually what's available for the team, so I just gotta make sure everything's coming out the headphones. We got Ultra Hit, which is obviously the leader slot option, but he works very well on Future because Zenkai Rose over here, actually Zenkai buffs powerful opponent, which is great for actually Ultra Hit because he would feed off that Zenkai buff, but he gets the Z ability because we got him on leader slot and he'll be getting his full Ultra ability. Ultra Rose over here will also get only 5% less of his Ultra ability because the only one that isn't a Future member is Hit. So that works very well for Rose as well, getting his whole full, well, 5% less of his Ultra ability, but he's still getting Zenkai buff. Zamasu here, he's an endurance unit, he's a combo breaker. Maya here with the best HP buff in the whole game, very, very dope, 25%. Valid, so everybody eats very well. You're just going to be running these 3 up here. Now if you're looking for any other substitutes, if I go to my characters, right, there are other options that you could use. For example, this red cell, you could definitely have him on the leader slot option. He would work well, and he actually just, you don't have to change any of the team, it works very well. You could also have Future Gohan, he's another endurance option. You could swap him out for Zamasu if you'd like, or you could swap out Ultra Hit and use him. Ultra Rose is a must have though. Trunks and Vegeta I wouldn't recommend, but some people like them personally and actually decided to start them up, so they would be a good fit for your team if you have decent stars on them. This unit here is a good cop out if you just want to rush and use your endurance. That's a good way to get a unit out. He nullifies endurance permanently, but again, remember, Gold freezes in the meta, so bear that in mind. And even if a unit nullifies endurance somehow, nullifies the endurance that you actually apply, this guy's one is permanent, so you don't have to worry about any of that. And everybody else I wouldn't really recommend in any way, shape or form. Maybe this Trunks if you'd like, but I'd say Cell's definitely better than him, and even then I'm already using Ultra Hit, so, and I already told you how I feel about Ultra Hit. I personally think right now at this moment in time, Ultra Hit's the best Ultra in the game, best unit in the game, so having on the leader slot is just way more profitable than any other option that I gave you. But if you don't have Ultra Hit or you don't want to use Ultra Hit, those are the other options that you could have for this team. But yeah, that's number 1 on this list. We got Future. Number 2, the second team that we have on this list is actually Movies. I feel like Movies is just a very strictly safe team to run. When you run Movies, you know what you're getting out of it because the units are just OP. It's not necessarily that they're really meta relevant for the time being, but if you use them, you're gonna have a good fallback. It's a team that you know what you're gonna get out of them, and they're gonna give you results even at the level that the mirror is at right now. These units are not necessarily new. None of these units are new here. All of these units are old. 2 of them down here, the Zenkai buffers, Broly and Pan, being here from the beginning of the game. This Broly here is on life support. Pan is an amazing support. I feel like her life is gonna be so long unless there's just somebody so much better than her. Beast Gohan and UGB, them two there are one of the most oppressive units in the game. 1v1, it's like in One Piece I had to say 1v1, always bet on Kaido. Beast Gohan and UGB, they're gonna apply some serious pressure onto you, man. UGB's gauge is already insane, and Beast Gohan, you know when he gets that combo rolling, it's insane. Now, I'm not saying this is strictly the only teams you can use. You could obviously opt into Zenkai buff Pan. I believe Great Saiyaman 1 and 2 would provide that. But you could also opt in for basically hybrid Saiyans. Now, hybrid Saiyans is not going to make this list, and I'm going to spoil that right now. But I'm really just going to mention them because I really feel like they're just a mix of movies as well. So if I actually go to hybrid Saiyans, you could actually see here, besides from Pan on the bench, everybody's a movies unit, and Future Gohan is the leader slot option. So yeah. Pretty much, I don't usually show equips in this video because there's obviously different types of builds depending on how you want to go, but because I have the team preset, I'm just showing you guys straight up. This is another movies team pretty much, with Future Gohan in the leader slot, and Pan's only buffing because the tags of the units that you'd use, Pan, Beast Gohan, and Future Gohan or Son family, so it just merges that well anyways. So yeah, movies is definitely a way to go. There are other movies units that you might not want to sleep on, so I'm just going to mention them. I feel like Cooler, even though people like to crap on him, at a very high star level, he can get you a quick snipe and actually just take you out. Revhan here at decent star level 9 or higher, his extra life can actually do a lot of damage, and if you use the purple Zenkai buffers here, you can actually get a lot of damage out of him. And I'd say that's pretty much it, outside of the fact that we're going to get some units upcoming. Really and truly, movies is just a very astonishing team. You know what you're getting out of it. It's a very good fallback team if you're going on a losing streak, because most people have them high stars. You're going to get some decent wins and actually do a lot of damage with the units that they offer. So yeah, number 2 on this list, we got Saga from the movies. Number 3 on this list, we got Powerful Opponent. Now, Powerful Opponent, I genuinely feel like it's the most dangerous team in the meta right now. It comprises of 3 ultras, and these 3 ultras are all top 3 4 units, top 1 unit, top 2 unit, top 3 unit, top 4 unit, wherever you want to place them. And that's insane. The only one that's in the top 4 that's not one of these units, obviously to each their own, is Ultra Gogeta Blue, and he's not on this team, but the other 3 are, which is how insane Powerful Opponent is. This team is really running things now. I'm not going to say this specific build, but just having these 3 on one team is very inconvenient to deal with. You have Ultra Hits time skip. You have Ultra Rose having 3 ultimates. He can literally do long combos, blue cards to paralyze you to hell. It's mad annoying destroying your cards too. And then we got Kid Buu with the endurance. He can't be rushed one time with endurance. He had endurance nullification, so he actually nullifies the fact that you have endurance nullification, which is wild. Blue cards lock in, explosive green, all that good stuff, man. Here we've got a HP buff with this yellow Broly. He's actually given Powerful Opponent. And then we've got this guy here, I believe he buffs green and red, which is very good for the strike attack because the team's also melee orientated. 50%, by the way, that's a big number. And then I've got Red Rose here as a Zenkai buffer for Ultra Hit because he's Zenkai buffs Powerful Opponent, but the Z ability is specifically for Ultra Rose because he buffs God Key and Future, which Rose has both those tags. But at least Hit gets something out of it, which is dope, and that whole Ultra ability is valid. But then of course, because Ultra Kid Buu, he's more of an anomaly here, so he's actually going to get the leader slot spot and take everything that you can get off the bench. Now, I'm not saying this is strictly the only Powerful Opponent route you could go. Like for example, if I go to my character list, some people would actually like to use this Red Cell. This Red Cell here, I believe he also buffs Powerful Opponent. Does he? Let me actually check. Let me lock that in. Let me check. Yeah, there we go. A little bit of Powerful Opponent. Nothing too hefty, but it's there. So you could use him on the team as well. And because he's red, he'd also get that Red Rose Zenkai buff, and he'd get the Z ability because he's a future tag unit. So you might want to add this guy to your team as well. And I want to point out that this team here, Powerful Opponent, is really regeneration at the same time. So if you added Red Cell, it'd be more regeneration than future in a sense, or Powerful Opponent alone. And a lot of Powerful Opponents, regen units are Powerful Opponents anyway. So Kid Buu, regen unit, Powerful Opponent. Cell, regen unit, Powerful Opponent. If I go to my character list, I can show you some more. So maybe you might want to opt in for this Fat Buu. I believe he got that plat. That's actually something you can consider. Let me see. You could have Jiren on the team as well as just a general Powerful Opponent. I was just looking for regen units specifically. Cooler, like I said, at the high star level. There's a lot of options depending on your star levels for a lot of these units, but I'd say these 3, because they're the ultras, they're gonna be your go-tos, your standards, the ones that you look at like, okay, it's so blatantly obvious that I have to use these ultras. So yeah, this is number 3 on this list, Powerful Opponent, but I'm gonna just sprinkle regen in there because it's similar, it's basically the same thing. Number 4 on this list, we've actually got Universe Survival Saga. Now naturally, because it's the first part of the 5th anniversary, we've actually got the USS theme with Gold Frieza being on the banner with the other universe rep tag units. So on this team here, we've got the Ultra, who actually runs Universe Rep. We got Hit. He's going to be your leader slot option naturally, so he can get the most of his Ultra ability and every Z ability on the team. He's probably going to be your leading force if we're being honest, but let's not point out the fact that the other two units are actually holding their own as well. Jiren is very, very valid. He is an insane tank. He has like a Mododana, you know, Gogeta Blues. He has a counter, which is dope. Green Jiren starts off with a strike, cover change goes to a blast. He's a transforming unit. A lot of things there. Cover nullification on his kit, dope. Go FRIEZA, the rush deterrent. Obviously, I've said my disappointment factors, but I feel like it's still really good to have because it can actually just stop the enemy from playing a lot more recklessly and just rushing you. Because bear in mind, this team that I have here has no endurance factors. So yeah, let's actually look into the actual bench though. We've got Bergamo, who's a HP buffer. You can see over here, Universe Survival Saga all red. And then on top of that, he Zenkai buffs hits because it's Rival Universe, which is dope. And then if we go over here, we got Beerus because his Z ability is actually really, really dope. He gives special move damage to USS units. And because of that, Go FRIEZA is not they're a tag unit. So they're not a stand single unit. They actually do their LF through their blue card, so giving special move damage is very, very dope. And obviously hits blue card actually hits really, really hard. And then on top of that, it's just Universe Survival Saga strike, attack and defense, which is dope. And then here we've got Zenkai buff for Go FRIEZA, giving the boosted unit, the new unit. So we're Zenkai buffing them, Lineage of Evil. But what is also good is that they actually give a HP buff for the Go FRIEZA, and for the Go FRIEZA because they tag switch, that's actually very, very helpful. But because Hit's on the leader slot, he also eats off that, so it's a double HP buff for Hit. He's got a Zenkai buff, so he's actually getting a lot more defenses as well. His offenses are going to be great. There's the ability over here. Jiren's very tanky in its own right, so he doesn't need as much, but he's already getting a HP buff as well. And then obviously we can account for these FRIEZA abilities, so it makes the team really work very, very well. Now I'm gonna consider you guys some other options if you have them, but I would recommend actually using Kawai, however you want to say her name. Sorry, I was looking at her leg. My bad. The fact that she can actually take away your vanish step is really, really good. The gauge going down is just dope. The way she can pretty much get free rush or free combo, I like that. Rev sign at high star level is not to be slept under the rug. If you are one of those guys, of course, Android 17 is going to be a valuable unit. If he was on the Go FRIEZA banner, you don't know how bad the meta would be right now. But just because he wasn't, a lot of people don't have him or not opting in to use him. But if he was on the Go FRIEZA banner, life would be completely different right now. And I might be saying USS is literally the best team in the meta simply because most people would be using him. They'd have him higher stars. I'll also point out that MUI in the hands of the best user is actually insane. A lot of people have been gassing up this Vegeta here, and I don't feel like it's undeserved. He's really, really nice. I'm not going to say he's better contender than anybody else I've mentioned so far, but he's nice. He's nice in his own right. And then I'd say that's it. That's pretty much it. Anybody that really take you high up, for real. But yeah, that's actually number 4 in this list, I believe. We've got USS, Universe Survival Saga, Universe Rep. Now, I'm not really fond of giving LOE any type of props, but they came out of nowhere. They're lucky they got Go FRIEZA, having the most convenient elements in the world. Purple and blue. That is insane. You can already see the Zenkai buffs going down, bro. It's a 4-time Zenkai buff team with this FRIEZA here also being Zenkai buffed. I think he's being Zenkai buffed. Let's actually check. So the team works insane, man. There's so much going on here. He's being double Zenkai buffed by FRIEZA and Shield. HP buff over here. This Go FRIEZA unit is being 4 times Zenkai buff. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's insane. Pan on the leader slot getting all the Z abilities. This unit being double Zenkai buffs makes sure that it can actually survive. And most people have the first one FRIEZA very high star, so he's actually going to tank very, very well, much more than you would expect. On top of the fact that he's actually buffing Go FRIEZA during the battle, which is dope. I already mentioned the HP buff. These two here having Zenkai buffs, which is dope. And then Pan being the support unit of generations, like literally support unit of miracles, bruh. Pan is literally gonna have so much life, and just adding her to this team on top of these two already being the units that they are, like specifically Go FRIEZA. This Go FRIEZA unit is a monster now. It's just insane on this team, and the simple fact that you can't just rush them point blank unless you're doing on a cover change would mean that they're able to survive a lot longer than they would be otherwise. The HP buff obviously makes that even more easier. So this team, you gotta give it its props. I don't like giving LOE any type of props. I was never a main of that team. I never first mained it. I don't give them props. I'm not a fan of LOE, but they really pulled it off with one unit. They always find a way to sneak in, man. I don't mess with LOE. I'm sure you guys don't either, and if you do, hey, you're an anomaly, man. But yeah, LOE, they're making the list, man. They're number 5. Would I say they're the worst team on this list? Maybe, simply because if you lose Gold FRIEZA, it's going to cause you a lot of havoc. But outside of that, they are a good team nonetheless, and they can definitely keep up with the rest of the teams in the meta. For sure. So yeah, number 5 on this list, we've got Lineage of Evil, man. But yeah, man, that's going to be the end of the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, man. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button, man. We're on this grind to 50,000 subscribers. Hey, just giving you guys the best team, because a lot of people have been asking me for team builds and whatnot, but these are definitely the teams that I've been seeing running the meta. I want to point out that it's my opinion. I should have said that at the start, but at the same time, I'm a god rank player. I'm a 34-time god rank player. I've been playing the game every single season, every single day, so I know what teams are being run more than anything else. So I'm a good judge of what teams are very valuable. But yeah, I'm gonna leave the video like that, guys. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name's Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.